Hey everyone, today I'm going to be discussing and comparing the three releases of Clare Mackintosh. The first release is I Let You Go. It was released in 2014. Next one is I See You, released in 2016. And the final one is Let Me Lie, released in 2018. Now, I've already reviewed I Let You Go and I See You in my previous videos, but don't worry, I'll be discussing them again before jumping over to the comparison. Now, let us begin with I Let You Go. This story begins with the death of 5 years old boy Jacob, who is run down by a speedy car while walking home with his mother. Now, this car doesn't stop and drives off, and the investigation case of this hit and run accident lands on the desk of police officer D.I. Ray Stevens, who is looking for an unidentified driver involved in this accident. Now, this book is divided into two parts. Part 1 is heavy, emotional, and contemplative. It is built around Jenna Gray, a mother who has lost her child and who is desperate to escape from her disastrous past. Now, this book takes us on a journey where we witness fear, guilt, remorse, grief, and nightmares of a mother who is no longer a mother. Another narrative is that of D.I. Ray Stevens, who is kind of ignoring his family totally in search of single-minded search for justice. Part 2 is dark, raw, and twisted, with dangerously alluring new voice introduced at this point. It is here when the plot kicks into high gear with gobsmacking twists that will send chill down your spine. Coming over to ICU, this book follows a 40 years old divorcee Zoe Walker who lives with her two teenage kids, Justin and Katie. Now, Zoe works somewhere in London and takes the same route every day, catching the same tube, waiting at a certain place on the platform, and jumping for her favorite seat. She finds comfort in her daily routine without suspecting that someone is watching her at every step on her way. Now, one day while glancing through the local newspaper, Zoe spies an advertisement bearing her photograph along with a phone number and listing for the website findtheone.com. Now, real fear kicks in when Zoe realizes that other women have been appearing in the same advertisement and they have become victim of violent crimes like rape, death, and murder. Now, Zoe brings this to the notice of her family, but they think that it is some freaky coincidence and they don't do anything about it. But Zoe is very suspicious and she knows that something sinister is going on. Now, as the story proceeds, Zoe, along with the police officer Katie, uncovers the real meaning of this strange advertisement. Coming over to Let Me Lie, this book follows a new mother, Anna, whose life is in a period of turbulence. She is mourning the loss of her parents and is searching for the truth behind her parents' suicide. Now, 2 years ago, Anna's father, Tom Johnson, allegedly killed himself by jumping off a cliff top. Now, this was very upsetting for Anna and her mother, but the things get worse when Anna's mother commits suicide in the same manner. Now, this book opens on the day of Anna's mother's death anniversary when she receives an anonymous note suggesting that the deaths of her parents were not as straightforward as they seemed. Now, Anna has long been suspicious about the circumstances surrounding her parents' death, and the receival of this note gives her the reason to be sure and doubt the death verdict of her parents. So she decides to go to the police and ask them to reopen the case. Now, as Anna digs deep into her parents' lives, she uncovers their secrets and lies and questions her relationship with her parents. Coming over to the comparison of three books, what I feel is I Let You Go is a slow burn with devastating and excruciating twist that the reader can't see coming. It is scary, twisty, and engrossing book that slowly creeps up on you and stays with you for a long period of time. And talking about ICU, it is a fast paced book with edge of your seat thriller that induces a feeling of incipient paranoia in your heart. It has an unsettling, shiver inducing yet plausible plot that leaves you suspicious about everything while you are commuting. And finally, Let Me Lie. It is a slow burn, lighter on suspense book that delves into family ties, secret, and lies. This book explores the devastation caused by secrets in relationships. One thing which is common in all her novels is the chapters with dangerously alluring, chilling voice that gives her novel a creepy, dark, and terrifying realistic feel. And one thing I would like to mention is that the tone of this voice is different in all her novels, which is quite commendable. Another thing that I have noticed is that the police characters in all her novels are crafted superbly well, such that they seem to be authentic, and the police procedures followed in all her novels are accurate and sensitive to the realism of the situation. And I think the credit goes to her experience as police officer for a period of 12 years, and this thing is the best part of her novels. Coming over to the final verdict, my personal favorite is I Let You Go, and I would give it 4.5 stars on 5. And I loved to read the chapters narrated from the perspective of Jen. My next favorite would be ICU, and I would give it 4 stars on 5. And in this book, I loved to read the chapters narrated from the perspective of the stalker. And my least favorite is Let Me Lie, and I would like to give 3.5 stars on 5 for this book.